Today we're coming to you live from 806 4th Street in the beautiful heart of Encinitas. We're telling stories that matter and introducing you to some of San Diego's finest people. So put your party pants on and let's have some fun. I'm Claire McKee, welcome to The Know. My first guest today is the owner of a local surf shop here in the heart of Encinitas, John Keys. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
So we're going to talk a little bit about your business today. You've been in San Diego for a long time now. Tell me, how long have you lived in San Diego, and then when did you open the surf shop?
Well, I moved here to Encinitas in 1965 and graduated from high school in 1969 and then opened my store in 1975.
Wow.
December 1975.
That's amazing. So you've been in Encinitas for quite some time. How has it changed from, say, 65 to now?
A lot more people, basically.
More people everywhere, right?
Yeah.
So where is your surf shop located?
It's just north of the intersection of Encinitas Boulevard and 101.
Awesome, and it's Encinitas Surfboards, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so we were chatting before the show, and I'm just thinking, you know, you buy surfboards, you have all the accessories, wetsuits, the whole nine, but you actually make surfboards yourself.
I do. I make them myself, yeah.
Okay, how does one even begin to do that?
Trial and error, unless you have somebody, you know, some veteran to teach you.
Yeah.
Which I basically did most of it on my own I turned my parents' garage into a surfboard factory when I was in 12th grade in high school.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, 1971, I got a job working at a local surf shop that wasn't mine yet, and I started making boards for them.
And that's where you learned and you thought, I can do this.
Yeah.
So how long have you been surfing for?
Since 1965.
Okay, and
Yeah.
what made you want to get out on the water? Because personally, I've never surfed. The ocean scares me a little bit, but you obviously don't have that same problem.
No. I've always wanted, I mean, once I moved here, I bought a surfboard the second day I lived here.
Really?
And then from then on, I surfed almost every day.
That is amazing. So tell us all the things that you offer at Encinitas Surfboards.
We offer everything for the water. We, you know, custom-made surfboards that I make. We have boards on display. I carry other brands of surfboards. We sell wetsuits, lots of clothes, like the sweatshirt you're wearing.
So cute. Thanks for the swag. Love it.
And well, you know, fins and track top, board bags. You know, if you travel.
Okay, and so
Pretty much everything you need for surfing.
What about for a total, you know, I'm not a surfie, I'm sure that's not what you call them, but we'll roll with it. You can laugh at me for real. What, you did say that they come on a leash now, so like I would survive out there, I wouldn't drown. Yeah. You're confident in that?
Sure, yeah.
He's not confident in that at all.
I am confident, but basically you would come in and get a board that was fit for you, and when you're learning, you have to get a bigger board. If you start off with a little teeny board, you're not going to catch waves.
Gotcha.
The only way to learn is to catch a wave, so you have to get a bigger board, and obviously a wetsuit. The water's cold right now.
Yeah.
And it's good to take lessons.
Okay.
You know, just like golf lessons, tennis lessons.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of people that give surf lessons, so that's really important to just teach you about the waves and how to enter the water.
Right. There's a method to the madness.
There is. I mean, just when the water's coming in, you see beginners having the board facing the wave, and it hits it and knocks it right into their face. So you got to have the board, you know, with the
would probably be me.
With the nose pointed, you know, straight out, so that when the wave hits it, it goes right through.
The surf instructors must have like patience of steel.
Oh, they do. Yeah.
I can't even imagine. That's amazing. Tell me, what's one thing you love most about being a business owner in the heart of Encinitas? What's been like a highlight for you?
Well, my highlight making the boards is, I mean, making the surfboards is really hard work. And when I'm finished and the customer comes in and picks it up, and they look at it and they can't believe how beautiful it is.
Yeah.
And then they go out and ride it and come back and tell me how great it works.
That's awesome.
That's the main satisfaction. You know?
Absolutely, that's super fun. So,
yeah.
Tell us again where you're located if somebody wants to stop by, check you out, and you also have a website as well.
Okay, it's EncinitasSurfboards.com. Address is 107 North Coast Highway 101. Just right by the intersection of Encinitas Boulevard and 101, just north 100 yards.
Awesome, John. Well, thanks so much for being
You're
here.
welcome.
Thanks for sharing about Encinitas Surfboards. It's been an
Nice to
absolute
meet you.
pleasure. We'll talk soon.
Okay.
My next guest is a Coldwell Banker Del Mar realtor, Mr. Danny Power. Thank you so
Hi,
much
Claire.
for being here.
Good seeing you again.
Good to see you as well.
Okay.
So we're in this beautiful home.
Yeah, the view speaks for itself, right?
I mean,
it's like being on a boat.
it really is.
Yeah.
If you didn't see this patch of grass here, you would think that we were out on the water on a boat. You just wake up and we're floating away.
Yeah, you know what? This street too, this section of 4th Street is probably the most undeveloped street on the ocean front in California, in Southern California.
Which is, I mean, where
I mean, we
else?
have, we have a vacant lot to the north of us, another vacant lot to the south of us, and another vacant lot right across the street.
So unobstructed views.
Yeah, we have unobstructed views to the north and to the south, so there's no houses next to us. Also, a lot of the homes that are developed on the bluffs are set back about 40 feet. And so the houses, if they weren't in that setback to the north and south of them, give them a sort of a tunnel view out to the water, or we have this wide open view of the whole North County coastline up there to Dana Point right now.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And the other thing we want to mention is that where you may get 40 feet of clearance at these other homes, you
Yeah.
actually get 100 feet of clearance at this one, right?
Well, we have
From the bluff.
100 feet of bluff frontage going north to south, which is huge. It's a double lot. And then actually from where the cliff becomes sheer, even though it looks sheer looking over your shoulder right here, it actually goes out about 100 feet before it becomes sheer at the very bottom where the claystone is.
I'm sure that's a
Yeah.
question you get asked a lot
All
when
the
people
time.
come
Well,
here.
people walk in and they see this, they're stunned by the view and they're taken in. But their next question out of their mouth is like, are we on a cliff or how's the safety? But then
Right.
once they see the illustration we did that shows the actual Artisanal Bluff, how far it goes out, the shale that it's made out of, goes out 102 feet and then it drops off to a claystone sort of natural seawall on the very bottom. Yeah, so it's pretty well protected.
So we're going to show off a lot more of the house,
Yeah.
but I want to learn more about you, Danny. So
Well, I moved here in 1974 to Encinitas. My parents, we lived in Italy. My dad was in the Air Force.
Okay.
So I came here as a Air Force structured military family, and there's 4 of us boys, and I felt a little awkward when I came here because everybody was so cool.
Yeah.
And this was in the late 60s, early 70s, so
Right.
it was a really cool place. And so I found my niche sort of in the surfing community. And I kind of felt at home there, and I loved the ocean, and
Okay.
I became a pretty good surfer, and I was surfing competitively on the team at the high
Amazing.
school.
Had you ever surfed before you came to San Diego?
No, played baseball.
Okay. So,
Yeah, so-
that was probably a bit of culture shock when you
Well,
came from Italy to here, right?
Yeah, and then learning, and then just being in that freedom in the water and with the surf culture here, I felt at home, and I grew into that, and it actually allowed me to start traveling around the world surfing.
Absolutely.
So it sort of got me into that. So I went and traveled the globe all through my 20s,
Wow.
and yeah, I spent a lot of time doing that, surfing as many continents as I could and islands.
Where do you have a favorite location that you've been
Bali
to?
was always one of my favorites.
Oh
Yeah,
my
and the
goodness.
Canary Islands. I really liked the Canary Islands off of Morocco.
Okay.
And Bali in Indonesia was probably my favorite.
Your top 2?
Yeah, I like Tahiti too. I like all the warm tropical.
So you are well traveled and you've
Yeah.
been in the water of all of those places,
I
huh?
have, yeah, and more.
That's
yeah.
really fascinating.
Yeah.
So fast forward to now, ultimately, how did you find yourself in real estate?
I had a couple of small entrepreneurial businesses when I was younger until I started this business 20 years ago.
Okay.
And a friend of mine was doing it. He was quite successful in Rancho Santa Fe. I joined him, and we sort of built a company that we eventually sold to Prudential. It was
Okay.
about 125 agents when we sold it.
Wow.
And then from then I've worked at Sotheby's and PS Platinum, and now with Coldwell Banker and Del Mar.
Amazing.
Yeah, so I learned a lot on the way. I've sold over 300 homes, and I'm just now brought in my peer Pete Middleton to help me sell this beautiful home. So we hope to get this in escrow in the next month or two. I mean, it's quite a deal, 5,600 square feet with 100 feet of frontage, and you can see the views.
Everything
And
about
the quality
this
of
home.
the interior is fantastic as well.
Absolutely breathtaking.
You have a swimming pool on the bluff, and you have a self-contained apartment. Yeah,
I mean,
it's
we're
everything.
checking all the boxes. That's
We
a
are.
fact.
Yeah.
Danny, last question for you. What's maybe something that your clients should know as far as when they work with you? What's the experience like? What's it?
Well,
what are
the
they getting?
experience is, I think local knowledge is really huge,
Mm-hmm.
and then having the experience in transactions and how to deal with getting the deal done, closed.
Right.
It's the most important thing. A lot of people can open a deal, but there's a lot going on behind the scenes in real estate. People think we just smile for a picture, list a house, and get a
Right.
check. There's
Right.
a lot more involved to it. A lot of psychology in it, and
That's right.
a lot of hand-holding.
Yeah.
So
And there's so many moving parts too.
yeah,
I mean,
so you want to keep the deal together and you want to close it, and it can fall apart at any minute.
Yeah.
Buyer will find any reason to not close, and the seller too.
absolutely.
So there's a lot of emotions that you have to deal with in residential.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you'll get it done. I love
Yeah.
that. What do you like to do when you're not working?
I do enjoy golf. I enjoy traveling,
Mm-hmm.
and I do still enjoy surfing, believe it or not. Yeah,
You have to, right?
I do.
And especially because we just
I
chatted
can't
with
keep
your
my
friend
eyes
John.
off the waves right now.
I know. Are you going to go out there and hit him real
It
quick?
looks good. Not right now,
after,
but later. Yeah.
after our open house, huh?
Yeah.
Well, Danny, thanks so much for taking the
Yeah,
time. It was
thanks a
great to
lot.
get to know you a little bit better.
Thank you,
We'll see
Claire.
you soon.
All right, bye.
Thanks. I'm here with Bavin. He's the owner of Sweet Cloud Creamery in Chula Vista. Bavin, thanks so much for being here.
Lovely to meet you.
Yeah, so what are we gonna, first of all, before we eat any ice cream, even though I've got my eyes really set on that, tell me a little bit about how you started this business in the first place.
So, after I sold my business in England, I had a real passion for ice cream. It's been one of my passions since I was a young boy, favorite dessert of all time. And I always saw that ice cream was always made in big batches. It's never made as a craft product. So
Okay.
we decided we were going to make a craft ice cream product and bring in some influences from England as well. So
Okay.
we use a lot of Cadbury's chocolate, and our ice cream's slightly different from American ice cream in general.
Okay.
We actually have a hybrid recipe that we create ourselves, which is a hybrid between gelato and American ice cream.
No
So it means it's
way.
got a lot of flavor, a lot of texture, a lot less sugar, and it's really, really creamy.
Are you saying it might be a little bit better for us? Less sugar? Did I hear less sugar? We'll just go
Just
with that.
all full flavor though. That's what you're
Full of
looking for,
flavor.
that full-bodied flavor. That's what we've got in our ice cream.
So, tell me, how did you end up in America? Like, give me like the background a little
So
bit here.
I've been to the West Coast a couple of times visiting on holiday, and I just love San Diego. It's
Yeah.
just one of my favorite cities, so I decided that's where I wanted to move, and this is where I wanted to create my brand.
I love that. Anybody chasing the dream, going after their business, I love that. So you moved to San Diego, started Sweet Cloud Creamery. It's located in Chula Vista Center, right?
That's correct. It's in the Chula Vista Center on Broadway and H.
Awesome. So I'm actually gonna bring our friend Danny back, and we're gonna
Perfect.
taste some ice cream, right?
Look forward to it. Let's have
Danny,
some.
come on over. Again, this is Danny Power.
Here we go. A little scoop for you there, my friend.
Thank you.
And a scoop for you there as well, my
Love
friend.
chocolate.
So what do we have here?
So this is our Cadbury's chocolate explosion. So we actually melt bars of Cadbury's chocolate into there. When you break into it, you see that it's got like that softness of gelato. It's got that kind of
I love the texture.
textures.
Right?
Yeah, you
It's
can see
almost
those
like
light.
gelato, but not.
Yes, it's got a bit more firmness than gelato does, but it's not as firm as American ice cream.
This is insane.
So if you look inside, there's a lot of texture in the
I like
product
the
itself.
texture.
That's what gives it the flavor and the mouthfeel
It's
that
not
you're looking
super
for.
sweet either. It's just enough.
That's exactly, because sometimes you eat a scoop of ice cream, you have 3-4 bites, and you're like, this is good, but it's too sweet for me. Whereas this,
I'm a
you can-
connoisseur of ice cream. This is good ice cream.
You eat a lot of ice cream.
Yep, I do.
I have to say, and I'm not even like BSing you, this is probably the best ice cream I've ever had.
Perfect. I love that. That means
It's absolutely incredible, and you're right, the texture is way different than your regular ice cream.
it gives you a better mouthfeel when you have it in your mouth. It's
So you were telling me a little about it earlier. Everything's fresh, right? So if you do a strawberry, it's all made with the nitrogen.
Yeah, so we make everything with liquid nitrogen in small batches. So we only make 5 scoops of ice cream at a time, which means you're always getting fresh product. It's not been sitting in that freezer for like 3-4 weeks. As
5 scoops, like 1 scoop times 5.
1 scoop times 5. So a little bowl that we
Oh
make,
my
and we make
gosh.
that continuously throughout the day to make sure you've always got fresh ice cream.
Like a sandwich shop baking bread every hour.
Exactly,
Yeah.
but it means that you're not making like 5 gallons of ice cream sitting in your freezer,
Right.
getting that freezer burn that every time you
I hate that.
Everyone knows that feeling.
I hate that.
You go in the freezer, pull out your ice cream, and it's got that freezer burn.
You gotta throw it out.
Yeah.
It's separated. It's gone.
You don't want that.
It's like a cold French fry. You can't eat it.
True. Did you come up with the recipes?
Yes, all the recipe, we worked with Italian chefs. So we started working with Italian chef to kind of develop our recipe. I wanted something that was different and unique to other ice creams that other people may be making locally. So instead we create our own recipe, we send it to a local dairy. So we use all California dairy in our ice cream as well. So it's all locally sourced products. We use fresh ingredients, so our strawberries are actually made with like fresh strawberries rather than just like a syrup being poured into your ice cream. And we make some quirky flavors as well. We've got a really, really good one, which is our apple pie ice cream.
You were telling me one about a mango, pineapple, and jalapeno.
Oh yeah, so we've got a couple of quirky ones. We did a mango sorbet with mango habanero chilies in there, topped off with some Cheetos on there. That was one of our specials. We also did a pineapple ice cream with cilantro and jalapenos in there.
Oh, so you're getting quirky with it. You're right.
We got the classic flavors. So we've got the
Yeah.
classic ones, but we've always got like a quirky one for someone to try it. They want something different, right?
Get a little out of the box, right?
Yeah,
What would you make a flavor for this house, for example? Being a contemporary house, what would you match it with as an
Well, it depends what you're looking for, what you're trying to highlight in the
classic
store.
vanilla and chocolate combo? Or
Yeah,
what would
you
think
could
of
definitely do something like that, or you could, I don't know. It depends what you're trying to highlight in the
the ocean?
Yeah,
Blueberry-
so if you're trying to look at the ocean, you're looking for something that's like fresh, refreshing. You want to have maybe something that's like pineapple with passion fruit and guava. That would be like a
that
really
sounds
interesting, like refreshing, bring out like the freshness of the sea, and you having something that's kind of.
Look at him on the spot. He came up with that. We put you on the
I love
spot.
it.
Are your flavors rotating? Are you constantly coming up with new
Yes,
ones?
so each month we have 3 new specials, and we always make sure they're like kind of seasonal, but very, very interesting flavors as well. Like last month we had a candied yam flavor, just kind of time with Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
This month we've got like a gingerbread one, which is really, really, really good. Nice and spicy, kind of taste. You
So
can
fun.
taste Christmas in it.
I love it. Well, Bavin, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having
Larry,
me.
you gotta keep up.
I know. I'm trying to talk and eat the ice cream at the same time. I'm doing my best. I'm definitely going to smash this dough when we finish. Thanks to everybody for watching. This has been The Know, and we'll see you next time.